Alright, so good morning everyone, welcome back to another day of Fargo's Soul Mod. Today, I imagine we're in for a fair bit of pain, as once again, we're going to be facing off against the champion of the cosmos. So, to get everybody up to speed, in case you missed yesterday's episode, or maybe you've fallen off a little bit, I understand. For the past couple of days, we have been fighting the many champions of the Soul Mod. And right now, we're up to the final one, the champion of the cosmos. And if it isn't inherently clear by that name, it's really hard. Really, really hard. It's actually the first boss in a little while we've kind of slammed up against a brick wall with. So, we've got a lot to learn, a lot to practice. So, let's jump into it. First off, I want to start today's episode by saying I'm recording this super early in the morning. So if I mutter my way through today's episode, I apologize now. Later today, we've got somebody coming around to give like a quote about like removal and all that. So basically, like, I'm getting my work done out of the way early so that, you know, when they come in, I could be like, oh, hi, I'm mid-recording. Can you quote me on some boxes? I don't want that to happen. I want this. I want a nice, clean episode. And then we'll talk about removal companies and that tomorrow. But we're not moving for a while. But we need to get the quote done now because it's getting scarily close. And I haven't packed a thing. And I really haven't. I haven't packed one thing. It's pretty bad, right? This is the thing. I'm just going to talk about this just before we get into this. Being somebody that's into games is kind of awful. Because I have so much pointless stuff in my life I want to throw away, but I can't. I have a copy of Brain Training on the DS. It's boxed. I kind of want to throw it away because I don't need Brain Training on the DS. But I love games. I'm never going to do it. And I'm never going to give it away because I really want to own it. Oh, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Right. Sorry. I had to get that out. All right. Okay. Recommendations. We got recommendations from you lot yesterday. Number one, let's turn off the Conjurer's Soul because we're going to be playing as a warrior. We're going to put back on the Solar Enchantment. And then there's been a lot of debate about the Chalice of the Moon. Because here's the thing with the Chalice of the Moon. We turn off all the effects on it. So we don't use them. So the Chalice of the Moon, probably not that great. Also, and I was surprised about this, I saw talk of removing the Bionomic Cluster. I would assume the Bionomic Cluster would go all the way to the end. I really did. I thought this was something you would take with you to the very end of the Let's Play. Apparently not. Apparently you lot are recommending I take it off in pursuit of something else. But here's the meta. So if we stick with the Terraforce, items get sucked in from really far away. We've seen it happen. And if you pair that with the Nebula Enchantment, you suck in all of the little boosters constantly. So you get like 30% extra damage and a bunch of extra life regen. So this is the killer combo. People love this. Everybody knows that we've got to have this. Hold up and down to hover. Yeah. I did know that. One of the Fargo devs recommended I read this. I am doing it. It's just very subtle. Do you know what I mean? Okay, right. So the other one was let's make the Warrior's Soul. Because somebody was like, why is he not using the Warrior's Soul? He has it. I don't actually have it, but I did make preparations to get it, but I don't know if I've actually got it. Because I was like, the other day, before starting, I was like, oh, I've got a bit of time to kill. I'll try and work on this. This was the one I didn't get. Scourge of the Corruptor. We need to get this. So I need to get a Crimson Key. Oh, no, we got a Crimson Key. Right, that's what I did. I prepped a Crimson Key, but I still need to get the Crimson item and then, you know, convert it over. Right, Barbarian Essence. We need this as well because we don't have this. So what do we need to get for this? So I've got Hallowed Bars, got the Warrior's Emblem, got a Flamerang, got a Falcon Blade. What have I not got? I got a Chain Knife. Scissors. Right, okay. Now I think if I make a wooden sword... Do I already have one? No, okay. I think I can make scissors like this. Yeah, there you go. All prepped. I did all this... This is so funny because I prepped this all the other day and completely forgot about it. Like, I'm talking like 4 days ago. Right. What was it we needed? Oh, yeah, we need the Crimson item. Let me just quickly check if you can make Scourge Let me just see if you can just make one naturally without the vampire knives. Ah, okay. So you can get a corrupt key and ectoplasm to just go and grab it. But I assume we probably go get the vampire knives. Now I'm nervous. Do we need to use the vampire knives for anything? Let me put them in here. Vampire. Forgive my spelling. Like I say, I'm very tired today. Vampire knives. Are they a recipe for anything else? Just the Scourge of the Corrupt. Okay. Can't talk. Don't worry about me. So let me go and grab then that Scourge of the Corruption. Have I got a Spelunker potion always active? I can't actually remember. So many things, right? Because here's the thing. Once you get kind of in the mindset that you're just going to be doing bosses for a couple of days, you start to forget all the little things that we've already worked on. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of getting like that. All right, anyway, I'm going to go look for this chest. I've also got to get the jungle one as well. I think the jungle one is for the sniper's soul. I will say I'm incredibly nervous about today's episode not working. So last night I had a little bit of time. So I completely stripped back all the wires in my office and like cleaned it all and, you know, put it all back together, all really nice. Courtney was like, why do you not clean your room and maintain it week by week? It's because you have to move everything. It's a complete faff. It's not worth it. It's worth it to clean like once a month. You know, and I'm just talking about dust in here, right? I want you to know my room isn't awful. I don't want to get that rep. But yeah, I'm incredibly nervous that I've just like pulled something out. It's not going to work. All right, I think we'll be all right. Anyway, let me go find this chest. Ooh, jungle chest. All right. Piranha gun. Hell yeah. Yeah, I think we need that for the sniper soul or whatever it is. And we need all of the souls eventually to make like the master soul or whatever it's called eventually. So just to say, a lot of people have just been like, oh, when are you grinding out the souls and such? Sorry, the enchantments from all the champion bosses. And then I've also been seeing people say, oh no, you shouldn't do it yet. Yeah, I think the way it works is you want to do that after Abomination, because then you can mash them all together. But you need to kill Abomination first, so I'll probably do it post-Abomination. Like, grind them all out. That seems to make sense. Unless it's something that we need. Alright, okay, so we got the vampire knives. Let's head back home. We will dump... I'm going to keep these in the inventory, because I'm a little bit nervous about them. But let's dump that away. And then we need to make the Scourge of the Corruptor. God, it's so funny, right? I can never remember what this is actually called. I always call it Scourge of the Corruption. So if I ever say that, you know why. Oh, look at that discordant charm. It looks so good. Okay, right. Soul. Here we go. Berserker Soul. Bam. So we got it. Right. So, 30% increased melee damage, 20% increased melee speed, 15% increased melee crit chance, increased melee knockback, effects of the Fire Gauntlet, the Yo-Yo Bag, and the Celestial Shell. None shall live to tell the tale. So how close are we with this one then? Because I thought we were kind of getting there. What is it we need for this? For real, I'm actually confused. Oh, Sniper Soul. I've got Dart Pistols. I've got a Xenopopper. Got a Celebration. Got a Piranha Gun. Right, so what is it you need for the scope? I think... Wow. Sorry. I don't know if you can hear the planes going over my house right now. But they're quite loud. What was it we need? Is it an Avengers emblem? Something like that? Why can't I make... Oh, that's weird. For one, we need more Soul to Sight. Alright, but we also need one of these. I guess I can worry about this later, but I think we're, like, super close to getting that soul. Okay, right. So what do we need to do? Let's start equipping stuff. So let's give this a bit of a reforge, even though... Actually, let me put this on, because we get reduced rates for this. Let me give this a reforge. It's not going to make too much difference, but hey, it is what it is. How much moolah have we got? We're down to 3 platinum. That's not amazing. Menacing will do. Awesome. So let's take that off. So this is the setup. So what we need to do is turn this to minimal. But then we also need to go to this part and turn on both of these. So it makes it larger and it actually sucks things in as well. Okay, right. I think that should be it. I think we're all ready for the fight. I know that this was like 7 minutes or whatever of just running around, but hey, it is what it is. All right, let's see the damage difference. Obviously, for one, I've got to hit the boss. Forgive me, I'm not very warmed up quite clearly. So how come we're doing no damage now? What's that about? Is it just me, or is our damage way lower now? Like, it doesn't seem higher. Is it higher? To be fair, I could just be wrong. I know I'm doing a terrible fight. I'm just testing damage. It's probably me being tired and not hitting the fight correctly. Oh. Okay. Are we doing more damage? It's so hard to tell, to be honest. Anyway, let me try getting the zone for the fight. Clearly, this ain't the one, but... Alright, so we're into the second phase. Now, like yesterday, I obviously did ask for a lot of tips. The tips basically with the Nebula one was to make smaller movements. The tip with this one was to run as far away as possible. And then with the solar attack, the tip was basically to move as fast as possible to the left or to the right. So that was the big tip with that one. And then the tip, we had some tips with the eyeballs. The tips with the eyeballs was basically move upwards through the eyeballs or something like that. So I'm kind of coming in today's episode not really knowing anything. And then, yeah, apparently you are meant to circle this. Apparently circling is the way forward. I still don't believe it, weirdly. All right, we got to go up during these and not hit the Moonlord laser. So we did better with that one. And then micro adjustments with that one. Okay, all right. So it's going to be a day of this again where we're, like, slowly learning. Right, so this is probably the furthest in the fight I've ever gotten. I'm really struggling to... I don't think I'm going to be able to commentate the rest of it. So it might be a silent fight. But I am winging a lot of it. I'm realizing that he does punching attacks. Oh no, I've messed this up. He does punching attacks very frequently after most phases. I've noticed that. So that's something to look out for. After the solar one, he does that big laser thing. This one I'm still really struggling on. I get that you circle it. And I've had phases where I've done it really well. But then I've had others where I've like completely fudged it. And then for this one, you go up or down. And then you want to get through there because it's Nebula now. Nebula, still not doing amazing on, admittedly. Still got lots to learn. I think that's where I'm at. But, yeah, I don't think... Well, I don't know how much I'll be able to commentate. I feel like this one, for me, is so potluck. I'm good at this only sometimes. Oh, look, we died on that one. But that's all right. But, yeah, making progress. Because, obviously, as you can see, we went a lot further. Also, I had to pause in the middle of that fight. Because, do you remember how I was saying at the start? About the quote guy? Well... He's already been. He arrived early. But he was great. It was really cool. Nice to hopefully meet the people that'll be helping us move. Very nice. Right, anyway, let's begin. Alright, we carry on. But I am feeling more confident about the fight now. I feel like if I can just keep my composure, you know, I can probably go a lot further. Also, I've tweaked the effect settings so that they're a little bit more in our favor. And I feel like they're working a lot better now. I noticed that certain ones were turned off that probably shouldn't have been turned off. But this is... I'm feeling pretty good about this one. Alright, so checking in. I'm still not very good at this phase. But I just want to say, I'm getting to this point now way more reliably. Which is a good sign. Like, it's a good sign. Solar phase is still kind of BS. I'm not the biggest fan of it. But, well, it's alright. The Vortex one's still the worst one for me, though. For obvious reasons, it's really hard. But this is how I've got on with the Vortex one. I'm going to die on it, so that kind of shows it. But there we go. Oh, don't mess up the eyeball one. I was getting good at this one. And then Nebula. Nebula's still super hard. Still struggle with that one. But yeah, I'm getting here more consistently. Still takes forever to get to this point in the fight. But I do have a feeling it's going to click and I'm going to get it. Because if we just have to deal with that on a cycle, I think I'll get into the rhythm. Because it kind of works like this. Or this is how I see it. So, at first, in the second phase, I was getting hit by each, let's say, form. So, like Solar, Vortex, Nebula. I was getting hit by each form like 3 or 4 times. Every single time. Oh my god. Wrong one. Wrong one. But I was getting hit by them like 3 or 4 times every cycle. But now I'm getting hit by them like maybe 1 or 2 times. So obviously, if I keep going that way, I'm going to win. Eventually. It's just going to take time. I've also just swapped to this weapon just because it's fun. Right. So, checking in. Oh, wow. we might need to sort this. The Crimson is kind of gone wild. I think for a little bit of variety for today, I'm going to try Abomination a couple of times and just try and get used to that fight. I say this only because I know me, and I know that the Cosmos one is one that I'll get burnt out on. Only because it's such a long fight, and they're the fights I tend to get burnt out on the most. So I'm mainly just doing this for fun, but I thought I'd talk about it in case I actually manage to get even somewhat far. Do you know what I mean? I probably won't, according to you lot, who are like, nah, James, you got no chance against Abomination or Mutant. But I'll try it for a bit. Yeah, it just mixes it up. And it's nice to mix it up, to be honest. I don't know how this is going to go, because it's got a lot of attacks. And I imagine this is just a fight that just keeps on getting worse and worse. Alright, what's it doing now? It's stationary. It's making me nervous. Let me grab all these fragments and such. This is the kind of fight where you think you're doing alright, and then you have a little look at your health, and you're like, nah, never mind. Because you don't want to look at your health during this fight. I've got no idea what we're at. I assume something probably low. Ooh, lots of pumpkin scythes my way. I'm terrible at pumpkin scythes. I really want to grab these fragments. They're just not quite strong enough to grab them. Alright, that's the UFO attacks. That's Marsh of Madness, isn't it? I do like how it's built upon loads of other attacks. I think that's kind of neat. Oh, okay. So it gets worse. Gets worse. I'm just kind of moving. Do you know what I mean? I know it sounds very basic, but I am. I'm just kind of chilling as I move. Oh, okay. He's coming my way. So I imagine we do have incredibly low damage. Sorry, not low damage, low health. But I'm using this weapon, once again, just to kind of mix things up a little bit. It's quite cool. It's homing. That helps. All right, I'm just going to keep flowing. This fight, this one seems to me, I keep saying this about a lot of them, but then being wrong. But this one seems like it's not all about learning AI. It's about being adaptive. But I've said that in the past and have been very, very wrong. So I don't know. Like, for example, you might want to know when that meteor effect comes in, because then you can dodge it. I know it's not meteors, but you know what I'm talking about. All right, it's heals, and now it's harder. Great. Amazing. Thank you, Abomination. Very kind. Oh, come on now. Come on now. Oh, our health is so low. I know it. I know it. Wow. That was really hard. That was very, very hard. I can see why you need upgrades to do that one, because you want to do it quicker, damage-wise. All right, that was fun. I'm glad we got to mix it up. All right, I'll probably go back to this now and kind of knuckle down a little bit. Right, so, unfortunately, I'll probably have to make this my final one for today. I've done so many of these fights. I'm gonna... I know me, I'm gonna get crazy burnout if I sit and do this all day. But I've learned a lot of things. I'm definitely down for more tips. Okay, right. I can also tell when I do the same fight, especially if it's long, over and over and over again, I do find that I get a little bit unfocused. So I start performing a lot worse because I'm doing it more often. Do you know what I mean? It's almost, I think it's more laziness, to be honest. But I'll show you where we're at with the fight. I quite like doing this because it gives you, yeah, it gives you a nice little idea of what we're up to. Okay, so know how to deal with all these phases. These are all still good. If I was really trying, I'd probably not get hit by any of them. But like I say, I'm getting a little bit lazy with it. I quite like how this dude just moves out the way. That makes me smile. So we can get to this phase a lot faster than before. Now it's this one. Now usually, I can do alright the first time I go into this phase. But it's when it catches you kind of off guard. With this phase, I'm not amazing. And then it's Nebula. Nebula, I'm still learning, for sure. I like with Nebula, well, I don't like it, I just think it's clever, how he goes over you so that you basically get hit by the meteorites, do you know what I mean? So it's less relaxed, all right? With this phase, I'm kind of good and kind of awful. It kind of depends on where it spawns. So that's where we're at with that. Now it's back to punching. A lot of the times I will get hit by a punch. Isn't great. Solar phase, I flat out hate. I really do hate this phase. It seems like the most un-Fargo soul mod attack, weirdly. So not a big fan of that phase. I saw in the comments that you lot weren't either. So I'm not alone in that. It can be a little fluky. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so we got a heal. All right, now it's eyeballs. Going to go up here. And then it's nebula, which I'm still not very good at. Okay, come on. Nebula is definitely something I should learn how to get better at. I feel like I can cut my nebula hits down from like at least like 3 to at least 1. I do think that's how I'll win the fight. I think I'll win the fight by just slowly learning to get hit less and less and less and get back each phase. Alright, so now it's punches. Okay, and then after this, it's solar again. I hate the solar one so much. Sometimes I can kind of crack the solar one. I kind of get it. And then other times I really just don't get it. Then it's big moon lord laser. So I got that. And then sometimes I'll get hit. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm not exactly mad. Because I feel like the fight is, you know, it's set its AI out clearly to the player. But if I was making the mod, there are things I would improve. I think the solar phase is just, there's just something about it. It just doesn't feel Fargo Soul mod. I know it's really strange. But the mod kind of teaches you, okay, you've got to be a little bit more reserved and calm and focus. But the solar phase is like, nah, you got to run. The vortex one, now that I know that you need to circle it, it's getting better for me. And nebula one's still good. But sometimes the phase after, I think it's after solar, the bit we just got killed on, that can seem a little unfair. That can seem a little bit potluck doing that one. But yeah, I think I'll end it there for today. Very interesting episode. Definitely learnt a lot. I'm glad that we made some of the upgrades we made. I do think we're like one step closer. So it's almost going to be a little bit like Deviant this saga, where every day, you know, I might not win, but I'll edge ever closer. And I'll try. Right, that's going to do it for today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Shout out to our channel members, as always. If you're in need for some fresh merch, you can head to www.terraria.shop and check out my official collaboration with Terraria. And then that's it. Right. Oh, it's Friday today. Oh my god. Weekend. So there might be a Slime Rancher video tomorrow. Maybe not. If not, I'll probably see you guys on Sunday. Right. See you in the next one. Peace.